Sandra's father, 38, that's 38-year-old pastry cook, Mr. Michael Dill, D for David, I for Ivor, L for Laura, said at his home in Maidenhead last night, quote, Sandra's teacher told her to change her bra, but I don't see why, stop. It's pink, stop. I think it's a scandal, end quote. Right? Yes, Maidenhead, Clever Dick.
To you, Chris, me old China,
said 29-year-old feature writer and father of two, John Chart.
You're at it early, for God's sake.
It's not decent, you know.
Added 46-year-old Dublin-born showbiz correspondent Harold Gladdy with a cheerful grin.
Grinding away at this early hour.
I'm a bit pushed. It's going to be bloody cold again.
Ah, smoky weather.
Black and white.
Muttered 53-year-old television critic Kingsley Gray.
All about the nanny goat with the pig's liver. Is it humane?
Shut up, John. I wanted to get done before old Mother Hubbard came creeping in. Interesting piece in from Canada.
What about?
Parabiosis.
Para what?
Biosis.
And of you too.
Apparently animals with one disease joined to animals with another disease survive for very much longer than otherwise. That's the story. They're trying it out in human beings now, and it works. Sort of.
And join me to reckon Welsh.
It certainly sounds obscene.
It worked with monkeys and chimpanzees.
Oh, good. News of David Frost.
They tubed together a cancer case and a kidney patient.
Hello?
And the kidneys of the poor old sob with cancer helped flush out the waste which the kidneys of the other poor bloke couldn't get rid of.
Oh, hello. That's
And the
Susie
kidney
Mills,
patient...
Hello?
Susie Mills?
Damn.
Geez, there's a girl I'd like to screw.
Screw her, you can't even get her on the bloody phone. No, it's okay.
He returns the favour by sending across some antibodies which help fight the cancer case. Get it?
Yeah, I think so.
Of course, they both died.
But the principle of the thing makes sense.
Ah, Susie Mills. Good morning. This is Harold Gladdy of the Gazette. Listen, I'd like to get a quote from you on that nude love scene. Yeah. Yes, that's the one, love.
Sounds a good idea, Chris. What's your angle on it?
Togetherness.
Come again?
Togetherness in the terminal ward.
He's thick as two planks this time. Yes,
What happened to your feature on that sex change
Yeah,
waiter in
sure.
Hendon?
Rejuvenex threatened to withdraw their ad.
Surgical appliance, Fred.
Yeah. Put your trust in the Gazette.
Yes, Susie, but there is just one point. Do you think Jane Austen really meant her characters to strip down to the altogether? What? Oh, I see. You haven't read the book yet. Okay, Susie, thanks. Thanks very much.
Yes, she did. She wrote 7 novels, actually.
3, I believe.
Want to try it out on Mother Hubbard?
What? Para, what's it?
Paralysis?
Yeah. Yes. Link him up with an amnesia case.
Clarence could certainly lose some of that flaming memory of his.
Superannuated old windbag. Makes me sick.
Getting old.
We all are, dear. Every day.
Past my best. Past my best.
Never mind, dear. You'll soon be able to look after your roses.
Roses.
Yes, dear. Only another 9 weeks, and you'll be able to spend all the time you want in your garden.
Poor, useless old Clarence.
When I first joined this outfit, he was a legend. Human interest stories, you know. Real lively.
So was Gladstone.
And his bag.
No, really good journalist, John, in the Bernard Levin class.
Following Amy Johnson around.
And boring the arse off her.
No, really, he was. Sharp as a tin tank, Clarence Hubbard. Made people cry.
She added, quote, "It will break my heart to give up Paddywhack." Stop. He is very faithful, and I hope the council will show some human feeling. Stop. He is only a little mongrel, end quote, and par. A council spokesman said yesterday, quote, "The breed of the dog does not matter. Paddywhack must go." Sod the roses.
Why don't they let the poor beat-up old sod just draw his pension? Yeah, mate. He's had it.
Well, I suppose he could be TV critic or something.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad.
Not a bad idea. Let him stay at home with his feet up anyway.
Would know what to do with himself if he'd dead in a month.
Blaming well dead now, Chris. Why did they have to shove that redundant load of old blubber in with us? Yakety yak.
Oh, I don't mind that much, usually.
Well, I mind, Chris. It almost makes me cry with boredom.
Hi, good morning, Clarence.
Hello, Clarence, old boy.
Greetings.
And good morrow to you all, fellow galley slaves.
Smiled former Ace Human Interest reporter Clarence Hubbard, 64.
Bleeding cold morning it is too. Brass monkeys, eh? I always think this is the sort of weather when one ought to buy shares in underwear companies. Am I glad to park myself?
Got the sciatica again, Clarence?
Had to toil my weary way up the stairs. Lift stuck again. Bloody antique contraption.
This building gets more and more like a slum every day.
I remember when they first tacked on this little bit of an annex.
It's too far away from everybody else.
Remember when they first built it on? It was a long time ago.
Oh, gold.
When poor old Mac first took over the diary.
Yes.
He wanted
Well, I must leave memory lane. Go and see Joe, see what I'm supposed to be doing.
Can't stand that chap. Yes, they put me on it for a few months, you know. The diary. I was on it for nearly 6 months once. Yes. Spent the night on the pavement once in Cumberland Terrace, Mrs. Simpson's house. The one who married the Duke of Windsor. They stoned the house, you know. Threw stones at it, Harold.
Yeah.
Mrs. Simpson's house, Harold.
Sorry, Clarence. I got a lot to do at the moment.
Busy, yes.
Yes, desk? Bloody. Anything for me? No, I've spoken to Susie Mills. Silly bitch. Oh, yes.
Let's all go. They stoned it, Chris. Did you know that?
Who did?
People did.
Right. Thanks very much.
Wanted to drive her out of the country, Mrs. Simpson. 2 divorces, you see. The king bunkers about her. Willie Gold and me. You've heard me mention Willie. We sat for hours on the pavement, smoking cigars. And Willie, Chris?
Sorry, Clarence.
Willie Goldie suddenly gets up, straightens his type in. Always had a type in, Willie, always. He starts looking about, hunting about on the ground, Chris. In the dark, mark you. What are you doing? I said, nothing, he says, but then he picks up this bloody great stone, strolls over to the railings in front of Mrs. Simpson's house, and bang! Throws the bloody thing straight through an upstairs window. Yeah. Why would he do that, do you think?
Round the twist, was he, Clarence?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Heard the glass shatter. Willie, I showed him, what the hell did you do that for? Willie just got up, straightened his pin, shrugged his shoulders and said, Clarence, he said, damned if I'm not bored. Bang! Dead now, Willie. A randy little bleeder in his time. Managed to do it on a big dipper once. Damned if I'm not bored.
Most journalists are, Clarence. Most of the time.
Oh, I don't know.
This cop came up to Willie after he'd slung the stone. Here, he shouts. It's all right, officer, said Willie. We're press. Yeah. I hate going through old cuttings. Hate being stuck in this bloody cubicle. Obituaries. God almighty, obituaries. Give the readers what they want, Northcliffe used to say. Something to brighten up their morning. Give the bleeders what they want. The 3 pets live together, comma, eat together, comma, sleep together, and play together, full stop. And next Wednesday, they will die together, full stop. In par, Mr. John Lythe, L for Laura, I for Ivor, T for Tommy, H for Harry, E, 42. That's 42-year-old garage owner said yesterday, quote, I have kept the cat, comma, the dog and the donkey for as long as I can, full stop. But time is running out unless they are claimed soon, end quote, end par. The curious and touching friendship of the unclaimed, comma, unwanted pets will then end in an animal's death row. Tap D, cap R, full stop, end par. As they rump together on a pile of old tires, it almost seems as if the 3 friends know that next week they may die together. Full stop, end par. Joe doesn't seem to realize how much I hate being cooped up in this bloody chicken run. Always used to be out on a job.
Not built up any expenses in here, eh, Clarence?
Last thing I had in the paper was a piece on caravans nearly a year ago. Advertising supplement.
Ah, well, you'll soon be able to pack it in.
What do you mean by that?
Have a rest, I mean. Put your feet up.
You sound like my wife. Bloody nonsense over the cornflakes. Look here, Harold, I'm not ready for the undertaker yet, you know.
Clarence, I'm not... Bloody.
Oh, no. Oh, no, look here, Joe. What? Oh, all right, all bloody right.
What's the matter?
Got to do tomorrow's flaming horoscope. Ariadne's sick again. Fucking Ariadne.
What's the matter with him?
Hernia.
Come on, John. Birmingham isn't that bad.
2 bloody weeks is.
Oh, no. I quite like the place myself.
For one thing, it'll get me away from old Mother Hubbard for a fortnight, I suppose.
Reminiscing. Is he? Is he? Dear God. You know, when I first joined this paper, John, he was quite a legend. Human interest.
Why does everybody keep saying that?
Because it's true.
Look, it's all right for you, Joe. You don't have to share the same office with him and drive you right up the wall.
Yeah, poor old Clarence.
Yakety yak all day long.
Yes, look, John.
Look, it's all flaming day long, Joe.
Yes, I know, but it's sad, really.
Sad.
Look, John, the old fellow's only got another 2 or 3 months, then he can toddle back home to Orpington with his pension.
Roll on Orpington.
We all know he's past it. No point in denying him. I expect he knows it himself.
What's that?
These are the winners of the Irish Eyes of Smiling competition. All 10 of them.
Take theirs.
You screwed her yet, Joe?
She's married.
Well, so? Have you? Randy's sod. How'd you manage it?
Got her going on a bit of dictation.
What was it? How to live with the pill, the perils of permissiveness.
I'm not Clarence Hubbard. No unnecessary details, oh boy.
Can't you send him to Birmingham?
You must be joking.
Look, he doesn't do a stroke. I mean, not a bloody stroke,
Ask
mate.
him to bring me a bits up to date. Keep him occupied.
Honestly, Joe.
The editor insists that he be kept going. A sort of sense.
Jesus.
Link with the past.
God.
This paper owes him a lot, John.
Yeah, so everybody says all the time.
You know he was the first British reporter to come under fire in '39. On a battleship.
Clarence? On a battleship?
Well, the war swept everyone up. All the hairy-ass reporters found themselves in the trenches or on the poop deck or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he had that nasty injury.
On the battleship?
Yeah, in the newsroom.
What did he do? Break his jaw talking?
You see, he'd just come back from Palestine, reporting on the first kerfuffle between the Arabs and the Jews.
Yeah.
His stuff was very good. You should see the cuttings.
No, thank you. It's just a bit before my time.
Well, some of the chaps in the newsroom shafted him a bit too much, apparently. His copy was very pro-Jewish. And then this particular son kept on about Hubbard really being a Jewish name. Clarence got very knocked out. He said, "Enough." And he said, "I'm not." And he started to unbutton his fly. Oh, God. Laid it down on the top table. And he said, "You see? I'm not." Then this idiot son cracks down on it hard with a ruler. Oh! He's having a steel tip once, you know. Poor Clarence was off for months.
I bet.
Letters to sign.
Very last place I should want to be injured.
Blimey, yes.
Poor old chap.
No wonder he's a bit funny now and again.
All through the war without a scratch. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yes. Never expose yourself at the wrong moment.
Not in this business, anyway.
Said 57, that's 57-year-old company director Charles Breck, B for Bobby, R for Roger, E for Eddie, C for Charlie, K for Kitty, quote, "I am as fond of cricket as anybody, stop, but the ball frightened my tortoise," end quote, end par. The local team has shortened the boundary on one side of the ground so that Ferdy can munch his lettuce in peace, end par. Quote, "It will be a sad day for England when you cannot play cricket on the village green," unquote, said 24-year-old opening bat Mohammed, 2 M's, Bashir. B for Bobby, A for Apple, S for Sugar.
Age calls the tune, youth's over soon, that is the natural law. There's a younger generation, knocking at the door. Why sit and fret, vainly regret things that have gone before? There's a younger generation, knocking at the door.
What's that? Oh, yes. A live alligator on stage while she sings. Yeah. Well, listen, could you tell me the name of the alligator? No, its name. Daisy. Oh, yes. Good. Do you happen to know how old she is? No, the bloody alligator.
I've been having a look at this report of yours. Yes. There's one thing I'd like to ask you about. This evidence that schoolgirls who get themselves pregnant do rather better in exams and... Yes, that's it, Doctor. No, I'm only interested in the educational aspect of it. What? Yes, I know that. I know sex is a side issue here, but I don't see why I shouldn't ask you. Are they brainy or aren't they? These girls who get themselves laid.
Yeah, 2,000 buttons on her dress. Yes, I got that. But what about the alligator? I mean, is the alligator safe? Oh. Well, what kind of tranquilizer do you know? Oh, okay, Ken, thanks. Thanks very much.
Silly bitch.
What's that, Clarence?
Nothing. Just thinking about roses.
Stop this bloody job.
What happened?
I've got to go to Birmingham for a fortnight.
Ah, well, not as bad as Wolverhampton, is it?
Get stuffed.
What's the job, then?
Circulation drive. Sending up a whole bloody busload.
It never works.
More tit and thigh. That's what sells papers.
4 reporters, a photographer, Jimmy and me from Midlands Features. Putting a slip page into the paper.
What's that, John?
We're putting on a circulation effort in Birmingham.
Never works, you know.
We're going for a drink, Chris.
I was on one once. That was in Brum, too.
A drink.
Oh, yeah. Okay, John.
I said I was on one once.
Mind if I trot along with you?
Yeah, hurry it up, then.
Nothing happened, of course. Absolutely nothing happened. No good stories, nothing. Just as we were packing up to leave, we had a little bit of luck.
Big man.
On the last day but one, this little girl was found murdered in one of the Birmingham suburbs.
Where's the towel, Scott? See you.
Little girl found murdered, which was a little bit of luck, all things considered. Burks. Library, please. Come on. Library? Oh, Clarence Hubbard, room 4. I want you to send up all my cuttings. Yes, all of them. A yellow scrap of them. A good intro is half the secret. A good intro. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
There's a younger generation, knock, knock, knocking at the door. Though the world is well lost for love dream, there's wisdom above dreams to compensate mothers and wives. When the joys of youth have passed them, this should last them all their lives. I've had my fun, all that is done, why should I sigh for more? There's a younger generation, knock, knock, knocking at the door.
You'll soon be able to look after your Rosie.
Yes, for this little lot, Governor.
What's all this?
The lift not working, neither.
Oh, yes, cuttings. All my cuttings.
Your pieces for paper, is it?
Over the years.
Lot there, Mr. Hubbard. It's akin to a lot.
Lifetime.
Felt like it and all.
What?
Carrying them. Bleeding lift not working again. Lot of cuttings, that is.
Been on this paper since 1927.
1927, have you?
Just after Whitson.
That's just 6 months after I started in dispatch. Busiest time we had down there was sending out them free books. Sets of Dickens.
Hard times.
And David Copperfield.
What?
Down at dispatch. Bleeding dump.
Did I think I was the bee's knees? Thought this was the most wonderful job in the world.
Papers used to have a bit of flavour in them days. Like everything else, a bit of taste.
My first byline here. God, that takes me back.
Like an album, isn't it? Photo album.
I've read that bit 1,000 times. My name in print.
1927. Is that right? 1927.
Meeting at Caxton Hall. Clean up the stage. Says here about the Bishop of London. Angry over this stage play. Scotch Mist, it was called by Sir Patrick Hastings. The Bishop got very angry about one particular scene. A character in the play says to his wife, he says, "You're bad, aren't you?" And she says, listen to this, she says, "I hope I am." Bishop got very angry about that. Had a meeting at Caxton Hall about it. Subs titled it The Bishop and the Actress. My first byline, that. Bishop and the Actress by Clarence Hubbard.
I don't know what they think about the bleeding language on the telly then.
All this stuff going yellow.
And having it off, young bits of stuff with the tits hanging out. God.
Dead stories. Dead people.
It's a long time, all right.
My whole life.
And mine.
Just a pile of old cuttings. Makes you think.
Does that, Gov? Makes you think.
Well, there won't be many more cuttings going in here, anyway.
I should think there's enough already.
Faithful dog faces eviction.
Pardon?
Oh, I scream in his trousers.
Headlines, eh?
Wife hid in loo. Beauty queen in yacht storm.
Dirty cow.
Just one more to go in here.
Pardon?
Well, she's usually in, you see. Well, always, in fact. And the curtains were open and everything, but I still couldn't get an answer, you see. Yes, well, I'm coming to that. I was just about to give up and go when I heard this peculiar noise. Well, worrying. It's strange, peculiar. Yes, well, what with all the things you see in the papers these days, I thought only this morning there was the story of this poor little spaniel trapped in an airing cupboard. Or was it a poodle? I'm not quite sure. I can't remember, but I thought I ought to let somebody know.
Albert has been playing table tennis in his wheelchair for 10 years now. Full stop. His non-stop record attempt is possible because of the generosity of 43, that's 43-year-old greengrocer Sid Brown. No E in par. Quote, I think it is an example to the young to see a man as old as Albert playing ping-pong without any legs and only one arm, unquote, said Mr. Brown. New par quote, I wish there were more people in the country like our Albert, full stop, unquote, end. Don't suppose any of you remember Albert Hurst, do you? One arm, no legs.
Traffic warden, was he?
Table tennis player. Done a piece on him 4 days in a row. Quite a chap. One of my best stories. 1947. It's a bad winter. We all needed a tonic.
What have you got all your cuttings out for, Clarence?
Not to entertain us, surely.
These go back a few years.
Are you looking for something in particular?
I hate going through my old stuff. Gives me a sort of an empty feeling.
Well, it's not so bad reading them at home in private, like a dirty book. It's having them read out loud that gives me the willies.
Well, here's the bit I did about Brumus the bear.
God almighty.
You're looking for something in particular, Clarence?
I remember Brumus, London Zoo.
What was that, Chris?
I asked if you were looking for something in your cuttings, Clarence. Only we've all got work to do.
Oh, dear God. Yes. Looking for something. Looking for bleeding roses. Roses?
Locked on the outside, Ted.
Here, look after her. I'll go radio for the ambulance.
She dead?
No, I don't think so. Wrong colour.
Somebody put her in there. Must have.
Bring her in here. Put her on the city. Just have to wait a bit. Oh, can you manage?
Yeah. You get the ambulance, Ted.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Let me out. Oh, let me out.
All right, love, you're out now.
Out.
Bring us that Daily Mirror, Ted.
I said I've been going through my cuttings, Joe. There are some pieces that I'm really good at.
How would you like to take over the horoscope? Ariadne's ruptured himself.
Joe, I will not do the horoscope.
Well, I'm Taurus myself.
Shouldn't even ask me to.
Yes, no, I'm sorry.
I said I've been going through my cuttings, riffling through them, you know.
There must be quite a pile of them there by now, Clarence.
Suddenly I felt what's it all been about.
And I don't get you, Clarence.
All those stories, most of them rubbish.
I don't know.
You are what you do.
Don't say that, for God's sake.
But I wrote some good stuff, too.
Some of the best of its kind, Clarence.
Don't patronize me.
Steady, huh?
Discarded, buried alive under beds of bloody roses.
Yes, well, if you've any specific suggestions, good feature.
That thing I did on Brumus was a little gem in its way. When they got the sex wrong, Mr. Brumus they called it, then found out it was a girl.
Well, any ideas at all. I'm always ready to listen to new ideas, fresh suggestions.
Well, I thought perhaps I could do a piece on the way that the dogs resemble their owners.
Pardon?
Some are sly, some are very randy, some are downright snobs.
Yes, that's true.
It's an old one. I know it's been done.
Oh, it's been done, has it? I'm sorry.
No, it's very much my kind of piece.
That's true, Clarence, but as you say, it has been done before, and I don't really think that we can give it another run.
No, well, I've been thinking about that.
Yes?
Yes, it would only stand up if we gave it a new angle.
True.
Yes, well, there are 16 or 17 different kinds of dog food on the market. A very big business. A lot of money tied up in it.
Well, I don't see how this relates to...
Well, from what I can see, the adverts for this dog food are aimed at the... They seem to give the support of big business to the old idea of owners looking like their pets. Or the other way around. These ads, they're They're aimed at the personal tastes and characteristics of the owners, not the dogs.
Dogs don't bite, Clarence, do they?
I think I'll be going back upstairs.
How do you... Is it 1 or 2 teas in Chataway?
2. I think.
Isn't it lovely, eh?
What?
Old Mother Hubbard.
Oh, yeah. Poor old sod.
Where is he then?
Joe. Hope Joe gives him a job. Yes, in Hartlepool or some such place.
Oh, I'm shagged. What's the old windbag been up to then?
The history of Norfolk.
Right, he's actually written something.
Must have done it during his lunch hour then.
Hey, listen to this. Listen.
Ah, no, come on, leave it.
No, listen. Listen.
You've got nothing better to do, John.
So Clarence Hubbard, the byline above 1,000 great stories. Listen, no, there's more, wait. Above 1,000 great stories has met the last great deadline of all.
That's died.
Is that all there is, John?
But before he died, Clarence Hubbard, a professional to the last, sent us his last astonishing story. Perhaps it will shock you. Perhaps it will bewilder you. But...
Yes.
What's he up to? What's he playing at?
We ought to have known.
known what?
He's ill. The poor old devil is ill.
Oh, Chris, come on.
He's ill. And he knows it.
What's he got all these old cuttings for? What, you mean mentally ill, you mean? Oh, for Christ's sake, you can't...
Have you ever noticed how much some people look like dogs, and some dogs look like people? You, John, you're like some bloody great beagle sniffing around the place.
I was looking for the thesaurus, Clarence.
Words.
I wanted a synonym for... erosion, yes, that's it.
Erosion. Oh, no, not another piece on conservation, is it?
Yes, that's right.
Putrefaction.
Pardon?
Decay.
Oh, I see, yes.
Rot, rust, moulder,
Yes, thank you.
crumble,
Where? Deteriorate.
Please.
blight,
Yes, okay.
waste away, go to pieces.
Clarence?
Do you want some water?
Rot, rust, moulder, decay, waste, consume, perish. Putrefy, mortify, dissolve, melt, crumble, gangrene, go bad, rancid, break down, rub away, dwindle, shrink, wane, waste, wither, languish, languish. Roses. Joe doesn't think so.
Pardon?
Doesn't think dogs look like their owners. Bloody great Burke.
Come on. Try and drink some more.
Don't want it.
Mrs. Hubbard. Mrs. Hubbard, you couldn't have locked yourself in that cupboard.
Well, I did.
It was locked from the outside. There's no way of bolting it accidentally from the inside. Now, why don't you tell us all about it, eh?
No.
You don't live alone, do you, madam?
No.
Your head and face are badly cut about. Someone's been beating you. Where's Mr. Hubbard?
Have a sip of tea.
And he'll want to know about all this, won't he?
He goes out to work, does he?
No. Not for much longer. He...
How can we get in touch with him?
Don't do that.
Why not?
He'll want to know.
He's not very well. Not very well.
How do you mean? What's the matter with him?
He's upset. Northcliffe was put down yesterday.
Who?
Our dog. Northcliffe. Had him a long time since he was a pup.
Oh. I see.
Clarence cried.
Clarence?
My husband. He wrapped him up in an old blanket. Wrapped him up and stroked his forehead and nose. And then he cried.
Well, try not to upset yourself. I like dogs myself.
Never drink a tea. Well, you can't bring them back, can you?
Well, I'm sorry if my questions seem a bit naive to you, but you must understand it's my job to put these things in a way which people will understand. I have to use cliches and caricature and all that, as you put it, because that is the only way which any part of what your lecture was about can be understood by my readers. Yes? Now then, you say that the female monkey is capable of 60 orgasms in a single day. And you also use the monkey to make direct comparison with human biology. Isn't that so? Hence my question. Are you saying, then, that it is men, or male culture, which has made us think of the woman as the more, faithful or unpromiscuous than the man? What do you mean? You know, it's just how this sort of paper will treat that kind of idea.
Wives needed more often, official.
I hope to find a few like that in Birmingham.
When are you going?
Tomorrow.
Words.
All right, accepting that argument. Look, I'm quite sure you or your laboratory will appreciate any publicity you can get at the present moment. Clarence! Hold on a minute, please.
maledictions, fellow scribes.
Has he written any more?
Not much. Perhaps it will shock you. Perhaps it will bewilder you. But all his life he was used to headlines. Beside his death, yet one more headline has to serve as his...
Epitaph?
God almighty. Silly old fool.
Doesn't he realise that that style of journalism went out years ago? Well, you know what I mean.
Bloody antique contraption.
Mr. Hubbard! Mr. Hubbard, the lift is not there! Mr. Hubbard!
No, John, no. Can't give it more than a couple of parts. And Clarence wasn't exactly a Hannon swapper, was he? Yeah, poor old sod. I suppose we should have seen it coming, yes. Well, it might make him do something about that damned lift. Anyway, look, while I think about it, I'd like that piece of yours in the morning, if you can manage it. Miss Universe thing won't stand up. Yeah. Yes, make a good second feature. Give us all a good laugh, eh? How long before barmaids go topless in Britain's pubs, eh? Mild on the left one, bitter on the right. Yes. God, that's an old chestnut.
Yes, the TV critic. All right? Last night's ITV play, Paper Roses, gave us about as true a picture of popular newspapers as a funfair distorting mirror shows of our own faces. Full stop. Except that in a fairground, you have some hope of enjoying yourself. Full stop, end par. Paper Roses began with a tired old story about underwear and finished with an even staler joke all about the absence of underwear. Full stop. But far from this being the bare truth about journalists, we were bludgeoned into boredom with vicious caricature and predictable bile. Full stop, end par. Headlines were used to paper over the cracks, and cheap cracks were used to paper over the story. Full stop. Story? Question mark. An old reporter sitting in a tatty office, boring the elbows off his colleagues and us with his memories. Full stop. He ended it all by jumping down the lift shaft, but by this time the play had reached basement level anyway. Full stop, end par. We are told that the author used to work in Fleet Street, but if this led any viewer to think that the sour caricature on the screen was based on real experience of real journalists. He has only to open this morning's papers to see how ludicrous the idea really is. Full stop. End.